IDW Sonic Comic Issue 34. At least we learn exactly what Amy and Cream are eating in the boring padding. Waffles. Rouge comes back after Cream worries about her, and Amy tells Rouge off for being a bad role model to Cream for liking all the treasure. Rouge says, definitely not. Cream, remember, if you're ever going to loot a hotel, make sure the guests are loaded first. But she just said that most of the guests in this place are wearing gold plating and rhinestones. That doesn't sound like they aren't rich to me. But she insists that the only treasure in the chateau is Amy and Cream. Huh? Shadow wants to find the one who beat him earlier, and it flashes back to earlier where he conveniently has a note in his hand that's a lead, having the word clutch on it in his business. Some time is wasted with no creativity, and Shadow finds Omega in the dark room Clutch used to be in, and asks him if the plans changed because he wasn't part of Rouge's plan. Oh, big surprise! Cheese won first place in the other race too, which also had no creativity at all. Was there ever an icy place in the Chow race? If not, that would be interesting to see. Rouge looks at Clutch and asks Cream to let her take Cheese to the first aid tent, making the excuse that the last landing was rough. Gemma's smart enough to say he's not letting her do this because it's a breach of his directives, and Amy's smart enough to figure out what he means instantly and translate. Rouge explains that she's got a plan to turn the tables on Clutch because he thinks there's going to be a trade involving Cheese, and she insists on calling them do-gooders. So was she only working for Gunn because she was forced to in this continuity too? Because that's doing good too, isn't it? Hypocrite. Amy says she'll need someone to watch her back. I'm impressed that she's gonna do that without Rouge being left alone. That's a smarter plan. It's good to have backup. It's nice of Amy to admit that a team with Rouge might be fun. Why does Clutch have to be so mean to Rouge's friends? We got it. He's a bad guy. We got it. At least it's nice of him to admit that their robot's enthusiasm is admirable after he was mad at him. Then Clutch says he's not defenseless. Why does he say what's that when Rouge says that she always gets what's hers? Which is her code word. And he magically figures out it's a code word. Shadow kicks him, and Omega says that Shadow's plan is better than Rouge's. Yeah, just beat him up and get the Omega materials. Why take so long? Can't Shadow just warp him under the ground and get them? Warp him outside the building? He certainly doesn't talk like he's against killing in this comic. Rouge says she didn't expect the help, so it wasn't a code word? She thanks him anyways. Who was she expecting to save her then? He wants to leave and find a real challenge. Why isn't he attacking him anymore? It'd make more sense if the heroes stopped him. Cream finds a huge amount of Chow in a cage and feels sorry for them and cries. Gemma somehow doesn't think freeing them will be easy. Can't he break the bars? He's a robot. He copied Sonic's spin dash. Rouge is leaving, and she says she's gonna call Tails because he could be useful in picking out the right parts for Omega. Why not just bring everything to him? I mean, she wants all of it at once anyways. Meanwhile, Sonic talks enthusiastically about getting to a fight and punches a Knuckles doll. I like that. Brings back the rivalry. And then he's nice enough to be grossed out at the doll being destroyed, since he does care about Knuckles. Tails says the system's adaptive firewall is tricky, and it's taking most of his effort to just stay undetected. That's competent of Eggman to make. Sonic relatably says this is the most boring trip he's been on and kicks a bolt, which ends up hitting a talking puppet girl. Now I'm interested. She wouldn't say Sawdust just because she's a puppet person though. If she's programmed to swear and that's how she swears, why was she programmed to say that at all? Hopefully she'll make more sense than the puppets in SDC. I'm guessing she's a good guy, since that would be a twist since she was found in Eggman's base, and she didn't attack them. He calls Tails buddy and assumes she's here to sneak attack him, and tries to figure out what Eggman's name for her is. Why would he assume Eggman would make a puppet minion instead of a robot though? He should say that he thinks Eggman really wanted to be creative after all the time he made robots. She recognizes Sonic and says she doesn't even know how to fight. Tails shakes her hand and finds out her name is Belle, and isn't corrected when he says that when he runs into robots they're usually of Eggman's army. So, she is a robot? Tails says her construction is remarkable and he's never seen a wooden robot before, as there's stars drawn around him. Is the comic going to be brave enough to start shipping these two? It makes sense since Tails loves technology and that's exactly what she is. She says her creator is private, and he's missing, and she's looking for her dad, who isn't Eggman. Why does she have to correct herself when saying dad? I like the creative surprise that she isn't one of Clutch's evil cronies. Too bad she has a ridiculous clown nose, but her hairstyle tries its best to make up for that. Then the alarm goes off detecting unauthorized access and everything's locked, and badniks get sent to them. Sonic tells his friends to keep back because these robots explode when they grab you. I guess that's the only reason he's not simply homing attacking them all one by one like he would in the game and effortlessly beat them all. He insists he can't build up momentum without more space. He doesn't need momentum. He can homie attack. He insists he needs a solid spin dash, when these are enemies from a game with a homie attack. And in that game, if you spin dash at an enemy, you lose all your momentum anyways. Why does he care that he can't build up momentum without space, when everybody knows that you can charge up the spin dash from a standstill? Sonic tells Tails to cover him while he's charging up. Belle saves Tails from a robot and gets grabbed, and Tails saves her, and nicely asks her if she's okay. This issue, by Evan Stanley, had Shadow simply kick away Clutch, Cream wants to free his caged Chow, and Sonic, Tails, and a Puppet Girl get threatened by some badniks, and Sonic is too stupid to just homie attack them all like in their game, so failure of a reference there. I was impressed by the fact that the writer had the creativity and guts to have a good Puppet Girl character out of nowhere, who calls her creator her dad just like Mega Man does to Dr. Light. I'm impressed because they could have very easily not had this original character, and aside from the clown nose, she actually looks good instead of distractingly awful like Clutch does. But she better have an interesting personality later to be worth more than just her concept, because it's not that hard to create a nice girl character, or a timid character, like Antoine already did.